Box jumps, regular box jumps, just loading up, sticking to landing. Make sure kids are going high enough. Hips above knees. Biggest thing, yesterday we had a couple way down here. It's like, nope, that's not an athletic position. Ultimately, trying to get the hips up and through. Another thing too, landing. Try to get them to land soft, so it's not just up and just slapping those feet. Come down, get up as high as you can, land soft. So if you have a shorter box, I can still jump as high as I can, now work on that soft landing. Then you can go straight, so you can start to see some more of those videos. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible, so that way it's not as much of that knee bend and developing the power, plus strength and ankles. Starting to realize, and I was talking at the UW-Madison conference a couple years ago with Nick Papendek, worked with the Chicago Bulls, was our strength coach. And I was like, all right, hey, quick question. What is one thing that stands out when it comes to training basketball players? And he said lower leg training. So that's where anterior tib, calf raises, different stuff for ankle stiffness comes in. So there's where a good one comes from. Next one for box jumps, 1 foot to 2 foot, load up, get up, and then landing square on it. And then you got 2 foot to 1 foot, jump up. Same thing when you're trying to land, keep the knee more to that front side instead of down here, taking the chest to the front. So different ways to work on that single leg explosiveness. 2 to 1, depth to box. Getting real high here. So same thing, couple ways to look at it. Down, hit that midfoot, up as high as you can. You can now do the straight leg ones. Try to keep it as straight as possible. But ultimately hit that midfoot when you're landing. So watching them, making sure they're not getting to that toe, hitting that midfoot, boom, how fast when I hit the ground. Another thing is watching hands. So sometimes they're here with their hands and the timing's off as they're hitting that ground. They gotta be back and using to bring the hips through. Depth drops, stepping off, sticking most intensive plyo as you're here. Stick it as hard as you can. These will usually start off shorter with the younger ones. One thing we've been trying to do a little bit more is get it higher, higher, higher. So this is truly where you're trying to take as much force and stop it as fast as possible. As you're coaching it up, you're gonna see here coming down into it. It's like, no, how do you stop? Ultimately, the way I still think about it is triphasic with Cal Dietz, like a ton of bricks. I need to hit the brakes as fast as possible. So to get the kids to understand that. Another one too is as they're stepping off, they'll want to do this. Straight out together, stick. And then pause for a little bit. Make sure they pause for at least a second, if not a little bit longer on it. You can do that lateral. So same thing then, some of the stuff going lateral, where depth drops really doesn't matter. That's more or less going to that front, unless you're going single, coming off a little bit more. Load it up. You can do depth drop back, pushing it. I'm starting to like that one a little bit more. Thing is, you want to watch then shin angle, how far, because like basketball, like sports, you're trying to get off that side. So watching that shin angle, if I'm in here, how far out can I get to get back up? And then you can add height as long as they're looking good. Fun ones we've been playing with, split jumps. In together. So same thing, building ankle stiffness, come up and through. Blast step ups would be another one. So top foot up, make sure full foot's on it. Some people want to get in here and you're trying to push that top little toe, not as much. So full foot on it. Try to use both arms, reach that ceiling. So now I'm decelerating myself as I'm coming down, pushing on up. One quick ad that I've started to see for ankle stiffness, keep the top foot up. You can hang on to weight if you want to, and hitting now bounces off that back foot. So trying to build that ankle stiffness. Lateral hops, 2 and 2, 4 cone. Oh, weighted jumps. So what they were doing today, 2 dumbbells or kettlebells off to that side, load up, jump up as high as you can, stick the landing. You can do repeats too then. Up, how fast can I get off? Hit 3, 4. If you have 4 and a jump mat, use the jump mat. That way you're checking reaction time so you can kind of see some type of actual, hey, here's where you're at. A little slow, we got to go a little bit lighter. Percent of your body, I go off body weight off of those. So keep it right around 10% for that. Split, either straight up and stick it, or you can even actually split with it. But that one, making sure you're not gonna get all the way down to the front heel then. It's gonna be more that midfoot on both.
Wait, except for weighted jumps, it's 10% body weight?
Right around 10% of your body weight. And as long as they're looking good off that, that's a good kind of like starting spot for it.
Okay.
Because at that point it's gonna go off leg strike. Yeah. Like plyometrics, when you're really breaking it down. I've seen it a few times in the college level where when you really want to do explosive jumps, guys technically about 2% or 2 times your body weight, girls at 1.5. I mean, here we'll still, push it with a client like adults. Some of them aren't squatting that much, but if I can keep it low enough for them just to hit, I'm okay with that. What I've seen though at the college level, young coach came in and it was a thrower, not a very strong thrower, doing 12-inch plyos or like hurdle hops and a lot of reps. So do you guys know the rep schemes when it comes to plyos?
Yeah.
Like beginner is at how many touches?
750, 75 to 150.
Beginner.
Is it less than that?
Yeah.
50 then?
Beginner is right around probably that 50 range. You're looking at like 40 to 60, intermediate, 65, getting up to 80 touches. And then that top end can go to about 125 is what they're looking for. Those are technically the touches, but being in the real world of it, those are intensive, those are more high intensity ones. If you're doing ankle pops, which is one we didn't talk about, but yeah, just doing little ankle pops, single leg, those jump ropes, I'm not gonna count each one of those touches. Those are really low intensive ones. It's the bigger ones that medium to big, depth drop, stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's just kind of keeping that as in the back of your mind of like, okay, first time doing hurdles in a long time, how many are you gonna do? How much jumping are you gonna do? So it's just part of programming. I'll show you guys the 2-1-2. Next one, 4 cone. Let's use these hurdles. Jump slide, this one works out very well for your lateral move, your lateral sports. Usually it's about 2 steps between each. So if I'm coming this way, 2 feet off, inside, slide together. So, I mean, even working with volleyball, ultimately it's a block, slide right back up to another block. Basketball, how fast can I get off the ground after a slide? So it transfers a lot. And then the other one would be going to the front, 2 feet, get vertical. So now you have horizontal sideways and then going vertical now to that front. How fast can I stick and get up? So too many times you'll have a jump, they'll come in here, hit this, end up way up here. It's like, nope, I want you to hit the brakes and get straight up. So try instructing them on, there's a wall here, and another one is how they do quick. They'll come through, it's like, no, get up. So really emphasize how fast can you get up. Broad jumps, another one, loading up, 2 feet, 2 feet. How far out can you get? Stick the landing. If you're going back to back, I'll teach the roll. So hit that heel, roll to the next one. And then if you want to start getting into coordination, right, right, left, together. Left, right, right, together. So just start messing around with what leg they're going to go to and covering ground. Because sometimes it's to build the best athlete, it's trying to get the mind connected down here.